Um, so, Hello everyone, and welcome to our webinar. We are delighted to have you with us today to explore today what it means to experience the sport industry from the inside. And I'm pleased to welcome our program director, Camille Safarov, who will share insights into how our Master in Sport Business Management is working and is combined with also hands-on experience as our current students, Lucille and Matthew, recently participated. You participated in Formula One, in tennis Rolex. So we are looking forward to hearing from what's happening behind those events. And Camille, the floor is yours. Maybe we can get started.
Thank you. Thank you, Alexandra. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here today. We are sorry being late, but we were waiting for the students who just finished their classes, so that's normal. I hope that you waited for us. So I'm happy also and happy to welcome today to this webinar Lucille and Mathieu. They will share about their experiences. So, hi guys, can you hear me? Can you see me? Are you here?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Good.
Thank you for the invites.
Yeah.
Good, perfect. So maybe we can start. What I would like you to tell us a little bit in details what motivated you to join this master program?
Lucille, do you want to start?
As you want. So there was multiple reasons. First off, I really wanted to get into sports after my bachelor, which had nothing to do with that. So I did my bachelor in statistics, so very different. And I wanted to move to the sports side management, the behind the scene of sports. So I started to look for different program, and Monaco seemed to have the best opportunities, experiences, considering that there's a lot of races and a lot of sports events. And then also on a more personal note, Monaco is just Monaco, so you cannot say no. The place itself is great, so that's the main reason.
And
Good.
then on my side, I did a bachelor's in sports management already for 3 years back in Brighton. And I wasn't sure yet if I wanted to go straight into the sports industry or just find a master's. And a beautiful day when I was working for the Formula One Grand Prix last year, I just came through a plaque where it was written International University of Monaco. So I thought, oh, that could be quite interesting to apply to it. So obviously I checked again, like Lucy said, I checked the program, what was proposed in the program, and then I thought, oh, I'm going to apply to it. And it's not every day you have the opportunity to actually be in Monaco. So yeah, so I thought I'd give it a go, and here I am.
Good. Perfect. Happy to have you with us,
Happy to be there.
boss. So, Alexandra mentioned already, we are now in the heart of all events that happen starting from beginning of April. We started with the Rolex Master, then continue with the historical one, then Formula E, F1. So, I know that the majority of students while joining this program, they are dreaming to be the part of this kind of events. So, what was in your case the expectation about these events?
Go ahead, you started, so now it's your turn to start.
Me? Okay. No, honestly, my expectations it was quite clear was to get more closer to the race than just a normal person that would just pay their tickets to actually watch the race. So being part of the Formula E was quite something. Even though I was a volunteer there, I still managed to go to like I don't want to say forbidden places, but places where normally you can't really have access, or you have to pay or have a ticket to have access. So no, it was quite interesting to be there, and happy that I've participated and be part of the event.
You have participated also to the historical one or just formally?
So I
Okay.
participated to the historical one as well. Yeah.
Okay. Can you remind, because I definitely remember the position that Lucille is take over, but what about you? What you've
Uh,
been doing?
yeah. So for the historical Grand Prix, I was in the accreditation. So with ex-student Marine
Mhm.
Lebras, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And during the course of that week, I was in the office with her, and she was just showing me how she would prepare like orders for the people that decided to book a ticket at the hospitality. So you had the Belvedere and the Classic Club. So yeah, she was also showing me how like she would undergo reservation, how the clients would pay their part and how to put it in the Excel sheet. And also she'd tell me like the procedures to do. So once the clients will come to the office, make sure to make them sign the papers and to verify if like they've got the correct passes, the correct numbers, because otherwise that could go really bad for ACM and obviously it will be a big disaster. And yeah, so to scan those papers, make sure as well to take the ID card because that's really important, and yeah, just give them their passes and make sure they enjoy their time there.
We definitely don't think about this kind of work experience through the events, because when we are like just buying tickets and go to the events, we see only this nice excitement part, let's say.
No, exactly. Yeah, like I said, you as a as just a client, you just buy the ticket, go to either your hospitality or your seat, and watch the race. Whereas when you're actually working for the company, you can see all the behind the stage, if I can say so between brackets, and you get to know also how big of an organization the event actually is. It's not just only like, oh, okay, Monaco Grand Prix 2027, for example. There's going to be these pilots, and then we're just going to go these tickets, and that's it. The race is done. It's actually like a huge organization behind it. So honestly, credits to the ACM and all the other businesses around the world for that host the Formula One.
Okay. And then Lucille, our triple winner of the position. So tell us a little bit more, because I mean, you've done already Formula E, you've done also Grand historical one, and the F1 is coming. So tell us a little bit more about your experience, about your
Yeah.
job, position, and how it was. Yeah.
Well, so for me, it was a tiny bit different because I got to also do the rallies at the beginning of the year. So that's how I managed to enter, I would say, the ACM world and the motorsport event world through the school, of course. So I was chosen as a digital and social media within the digital and social media team. So I'm basically like an assistant, let's say, because I do a bunch of different things. So the first thing is I receive all the photo from the official photographs, and then I have to sort them in both an archive file and an actual website where professionals can buy, or like not buy but download pictures. So it's a restricted website, however. So I have to do that. I have to make sure the archive is well organized. So I deal with it from A to Z. So if it's like I'm sorting it by days, by type of things that happens during the day, by type of photograph. So there's a lot of miniature, like it's very meticulous, but I like it. I come from statistics once again, so I do like the little, organizing and sorting things. That's fine. But then I also during the rallies, because it's a much smaller event than Formula E, Formula One, Grand Prix Historic. There was just me and the team. So I was in charge of also if they needed someone to go on field to film stuff, I would go, or I would assist people that were filming stuff. I would go pick up things if they needed something specific. So that was fun. And also during the rally, they had something happening in Gap as well because it's a dual location place. So I was basically staying in Monaco, and when they needed me to do something in Monaco, I would go. So I got to film like school visit of the fan zone one day when everyone was out of the office. So that was pretty fun. So that was my part for rally. And then basically, because it went so well for the first rally, they asked me to come back for the second rally, which was not planned. And then after the second rally, they were really happy with my work, but didn't say anything. But then basically, when it came time to apply, I applied, and they had left a very nice word about me. And so basically, I did the interview process, but since they knew how I worked, they wanted me. So I was lucky in that sense, although I worked hard for it. I worked really hard for it. So, but yeah, so I got to enter the world of Grand Prix after, which was very different. Very different. There was many more students that were within the team that I was in. So that's also an adjustment. But the job was the same, although there's a little bit less of on the field because
Hmm.
they have also community managers that they take freelance that come and help. So they don't need
Hmm.
me to, although I did a little bit during FE. I did go on the field during FE. So yeah, I'm a lot of in the office, but I have to say that I'm with a very good team that is very welcoming and like it helps also they're letting us watch if we have free time. Like they're not like asking us. So they're also considering that we're doing a good job. So we're allowed to enjoy this because it's a first time for a lot of the students as well, right? So let's say
Exactly.
that it's a good work experience, but then the people you work with don't forget that you're students and that it's your first time, so they make sure that you're comfortable like doing the job. So that's something that is very, very cool. But I was not expecting to do that at all, so it's a very good surprise. When I first came in, I knew I wanted to be part of it, but I didn't know in what extent. I was just open to anything, and I guess I was very well gifted at the end of the day.
Good. And do you think that this experience gave you kind of understanding what you want to do later on, or like maybe not to do at all?
Yeah, so I already had an idea of what I wanted to do, but doing this job, basically, it's a very anecdotal thing. But during the Grand Prix Historique and during Formula E, I had to be there early, right? Because we have to be there quite early. And I got to walk along the paddock and the pit lane. And whenever I would walk along the pit lane, I just know like that you can feel, and this is like, yeah, I'm 100% sure this is what I want to do. I want to be in the pit lane. So it helps me know exactly what I want. But it also helps me see the bigger picture because yeah, there's the team and that's what you want to join, but then there's like Matthew was saying, there's so much more happening behind and yeah, no, it's great, but you know what? Also, I found out that the hours are not really much of an issue for me, so that's good. I don't mind working crazy hours. It's rough, but I like it.
That's important. When you are in the event management, you need to like to be
Oh
very
yeah.
flexible in hours, in
Oh
terms
yeah.
of
Oh
hours.
yeah.
Um, Matthew, what's something that kind of been the most surprising behind the scene? Something that you never thought that it works like that.
During FE or during Formula E and historical Grand Prix?
Boss, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'd say more on the yeah.
It can be negative. I mean, surprise in a badly way as well.
No. I mean, so for more for historical Grand Prix, so like Lucy said, she managed to go into the paddock. Same for me. I could go to the all the hospitality, so like the Belvedere and stuff like that. When Marine was like, "Oh, you'll see on the day of the race, you can actually go to the like wherever you want, so either the Garagin or the Belvedere. So like it's a privilege, but then you don't have to forget that you're still working. So at first, when I was talking, well, when I first met Marine and I asked a few questions, I was like, "Oh, can I take photos, obviously for the LinkedIn, but not only for the LinkedIn, for social media?" So at first she said no, because I was like, "Okay." I mean, I do understand because sometimes you don't know what photos are going to be taken of, especially in the office, because the office is like quite something really, really private, and there's a lot of confidential information that cannot be shared. So yeah, like I mentioned, I think just going near the garages, seeing all the cars being, built, repaired, be able to go to hospitality is something exclusive. But once again, I'm repeating myself, but you don't have to forget that you're here to work and to help and to gain experience, not just here to be like, oh, I want to, volunteer or have insights of Formula One. So like this, I can just watch the cars go around and just stay in the hospitality and do nothing. You have to really understand that it's not only about the races, it's about everything around it.
Yeah.
So yeah, about Formula One, I mean not Formula One, historical Grand Prix is
Okay.
yeah, it's the privilege, I want to say.
Okay. 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 And what about hours? You had also crazy hours, or what, that was okay?
Uh, so yeah, so from Wednesday to Saturday, I didn't have really crazy hours. I mean, no, from Wednesday to Friday, I didn't have really crazy hours. She'd tell me to come like at 9, so it's just not a basic 9 to 6.
Mhm.
Really nothing much. Sometimes she would just tell me to stay a bit longer, which for me wasn't really a problem. She would always apologize, saying sorry, sorry. I'm like, I understand it's something you have to expect um, in the working industry, so you have to expect people asking to stay a bit longer. I think it's only on race day or the oh, no, it was the day before when she was like, "Oh, I don't know what time do you want to come?" So I told her if you want me to come really early, I'm more than happy to do it. So I did end up in Monaco at 7:30. But I mean, it's I don't want to say I'm used to it because the past my past two experiences with Formula One, which is obviously completely aside applying with IUM because I was in the IUM at the time. On race day, I would start at 6:45.
Mhm.
So I'd have to still get up really early, catch an early train, and be there as early as I can in order to, start bringing all the fans to Monaco. So I'd
Yeah,
say it's if really you want to work within the Formula One industry, you have to like be ready to have those hours and not complain because you start at 5:30 or 7:30. So yeah, you just have to, if you love your job, you don't even count the hours. If you enjoy
that's
what you're
true.
doing and yeah, just show that you're here to enjoy, to learn, and yeah, you probably actually will earn a job there. So yeah,
Good, 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 good. Do you think that this kind of experiences complement what you have learned in class,
Lucille.
Let me
Lucille?
think. Yes, yes. I'm not gonna lie, yes. But maybe not, I was not the one applying it, but I saw it being applied. So like
Mhm.
sponsorship and like marketing, because also the office where I work when I'm at the office of the ACM, there's marketing next to it. So I hear a lot. I also see how the social media aspect of thing is done through the ACM for this specifically, but in general at school we were seeing like generally, right? So I did not apply it myself because also as a volunteer student, it's not like they're gonna give me like a full-blown thing to do, but I do see the teams apply
Mhm.
all those things that we did touch that were mentioned by professors, and then also like how sport world is so much different because that's also not something that we're taught, but we're explained after course that the sports world, the sports industry is a unique industry, and you can see it when you're doing an event in the sport industry. Things do not run the same way as like as just banking or like whatever, like clothes store stuff, whatever. So that's I would say that's nowadays when I do something, I see, oh, I remember Paul talked
Mhm.
about it, or so yeah, a little bit, but I didn't apply it.
Okay. And do you think that you developed kind of specific skills while working there?
Yeah, I would say I learned to develop some of the skills that I've already had. I feel like we at that point when we enter the bachelor, we all have similar sets, but to a different extent of skills. But yeah, I learned to. I've always been able to work in a team, but here I work in a team setting where there's a real hierarchy, like there's the actual
Mhm.
boss, there's people underneath. So that I learned to even deal with it. I also actually, out of the blue, that has nothing to do with sport, but I learned to deal with conflicts, with issue because I had an issue at one point, and so I learned to just, you gotta fix it. So that was good. But yeah, no, skill wise you just yeah, I would say you just learn to use the skills you have and to develop them in the best
Yeah.
manner that will fulfill the task, and in this case it's related to sports, and it's things that you see during class, so it all is combined to some extent, and you just work the link
Yeah.
uh by day, let's say.
Okay. Thank you. And then Matthew, in your case.
Um, I would say yes, a bit for both. Now that Lucille said something and it kind of like clocked for me for the historical GP. So I'm going to start with Formula E. I'd say more fan engagement because obviously I was in a fan zone. We spoke about this quite a few times in some of our classes, especially sports events. we obviously, yeah, like I said, talked about fan engagement. So you can't just stand there and just like watch the people go stand to stand. You actually, you have to talk to them, make them feel comfortable that you're welcoming, that, the Formula E, it's not just only an event, it's also about the people working around and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely fan engagement for Formula E. And for historical Grand Prix, I remember there was this, so keep calm during conflicts with customers. So in order not to lose them, because otherwise they could just be like, oh well, this person was really bad at it. I don't really want to come back to Monaco for historical GP or whatever. We had an issue with a client who sent an email a while ago, and Marina sent an email back saying like, oh sorry, we don't have any more passes, everything's been sold out. And then they called her asking, oh, but I want to see it. I have booked something, whereas they got mistaken and they booked for the Formula One. And they were like, yeah, no, but I called about the historical Grand Prix, blah blah. I want my place. And she was really calm on the phone. I could tell she was really angry about it, but you can see she was just calm and compliant. She was like, not really get it. I think if I was in her position, I'd probably really lose it quite quick, and it would be really, really bad, which is not a good image to give to the clients because, like I said, they'll. I don't want to say they could sue you, but they could like email to probably your supervisor or the maybe the president on the club saying like this person hasn't really been respectful towards me when I was really calm or whatever. And yeah, like there's a saying which is the client is king. So whatever you do, it's never good. But yeah, so just during conflicts, keep calm and keep your chill.
Yeah. While working in the hospitality, definitely the quality, the skill
Yeah,
that you need to have.
yeah,
That's
that's what
true.
I've been told as well. They were telling me both. This man called Florian, I can't remember his family name, unfortunately, but they both told me if you go to the hospitality, just look like just clean cut, just like be really presentable. Don't go flying around, running around, or just picking your nose, for example. You need to be they're big clients. They're big clients, so you have
Yeah,
to like represent ACM.
yeah,
You have to represent the
exactly.
class of ACM.
Exactly. Do you remember one moment where you felt that, okay, this is exactly why I have chosen this program? I mean, it can be related to the course, it can be related to the field trip, it can be related to the participation to the events,
Um,
whatever.
for me, I would say
Even party in Twiga or Jimmy's can be the case.
I've stopped going to these places since November.
Sure,
Um,
sure.
yeah, yeah, have to be focused and compliant. But yeah, for me, the program is all the opportunities you have in Monaco. Monaco's been named capital of sports in 2025. Obviously, like we've got the motorsport events, so the rally, the Formula One, Formula E, historical GP. You have the rugby, which I learned only when Camille you gave us the opportunity to work for. The basketball with the Rocket team, which also in I mean, personally, my group, we had the chance to work with them as our applied project from January. What else? You got the football, which we didn't work with them, but it's still there. It play, they're in first division of French football. You've got the E1, I
Mhm.
assume. You got the horses. It's really it's really really vast sport. So yeah, for me, it's all the opportunities within sports, and also, I mean, come on, it's Monaco. Who doesn't want to live within Monaco or not far or work in Monaco? So like I told everyone it's just like it's not about being lucky, it's just like the opportunity, but also in a sense of being lucky, like the your profile has to be very interesting towards the people that are hiring you for the masters. So honestly, if you've got an interesting profile and a lot of experiences and good experiences, you basically just got it, you don't have to worry about it. So yeah, that's it for me.
Matthew, can you tell us about your project with Roca team?
Yeah, no, of
So
course. So
yeah, tell
sorry.
us. Yeah. Activation that you did, yeah?
Yeah, so my activation of my group, so I mean I'm gonna tell their name so they get credit as well. So we had the you Eula Hoibach, I think. Sorry if I, Scotch her name. Diego Costi, Cilia Zonta, and Mariana Hurtado, whatever. We were there during Valentine's Day. So
Ah,
our activation was during Valentine's Day. So we had our activation table where we had hearts cut out hearts, sorry, with different prompts on it. And as you write something on it, you automatically participate in a prize draw, and the prize draw was a dinner for two at Robuchon, which is something quite, you know, I want to say spenny, but still something really, really representable in Monaco. We also had the station for the kids, so it would be the kids' hoops. So we'd have mini basketball baskets with some basketballs, and you'd have to basically score the most points in the space of, I think it was 15 seconds. And each kid that participated would have like a little sweet, and also would automatically participate in a prize draw which consisted of free merch, like key rings, tattoos, tote bag, even a scarf. Um, and yeah, and it was really a good experience because it shows you also how, you know, an activation is quite a lot of how can I say that? A lot of organization, and the working as a group is something else. You need communication. You had someone that was like, okay, you do this, and everyone has that part to do. So personally, I was in the budgeting, so I was trying to find all the stuff that was needed for our activation, so like the papers, little bits and bobs and everywhere. So no,
because you manage the activation from A to Z.
yeah, we managed from
The idea with
Yeah,
execution,
exactly. We managed
etc.
from A to Z. So obviously we had the chance to talk about it with Jordan Mercier, so the marketing manager of AS Monaco, and his boss was here as well. So that was even more, highlighting. So we had the presentation. He seemed to like it. I mean, he did like it because if he didn't like it, we couldn't really do our activation. So we managed to do it. It went well, and yeah, no, even I remember going to one of my peers' activation, and I bumped into him, and he was like he enjoyed it. So I was like, well, if he enjoyed it, you know,
That's
it's
good.
that means we did a good job. So
Yeah,
credits to the team, and yeah.
good. Perfect. Thank you to sharing this exciting experience. Lucy, in your case, something that was, I mean, I will combine both questions. So first, about the moment where you felt this is exactly what I choose in this program. And then maybe you can also share about your experience because you are working on the applied project in other group on Rolex Master. So let's combine both questions.
Yeah. So I would say the moment there's a few of them, but the big one is whenever I walk down the pit lane. The pit lane is the moment where I'm like, it was 6:30 in the morning or even like 6, and it was very quiet, but the garage, and I was like, yeah, this is it. But then also every time I go and I help at the office of the ACM because there's a lot of pre-event and post-event that you don't think about as well. It's not just the weekend. So whenever I go there and I'm like I'm pretty lucky to be able to go into the office, you know. So those are moments that I'm really like, yeah, if I had not joined this program, I would not have gotten such an opportunity. And then for the Rolex Master, so basically the applied project is to improve the customer experience. It's very wide, it's very broad, but basically it's improve the Rolex Masters customer experience, the Monte Carlo ones. So through that, however, we were really lucky because we got entrance, like we got badges, so we got to experience this, which is for me the first time. Although I come from a tennis family, I have never watched tennis and I have never attended a tennis event. Yes, my dad was very ashamed and now he's very proud. So very first time. So it was nice. It also helped me assess the situation because as a newcomer, I got to see things that I was like, oh wow, like this is not how I expected it to be. That's not how, or it is exactly how I expect to be. So there was that was pretty nice. So that that is the base of the project. So we got to go and see. And then now basically we're working on proposing ideas to improve. So this also takes a very long time because we have to build a full-blown report. We have to do like benchmarking, we have to do cost analysis. So it works differently than Matthew's project because we're not implementing anything. It's not really directly with the fans. It's more like the behind the scene of improving the fan experience. So it's very, very different. It is, I'm not gonna lie, it is a challenge, especially considering that there's the three GPs, there's everything happening at the same time. So it is a challenge, but it's rewarding because I'm just thinking of the day we're gonna present to the SMET director, or I don't know if it's gonna be here. I'm thinking it's gonna be him, who's in charge of the whole organizing that tournament. So this is the the carrot that makes us keep going and push, push, push. So yeah, no, that's very interesting. I can't say much more about it because it's still in the process of happening. But yeah, no, it is challenging, but I feel like it is worth it. At the end of the day, it is worth it.
We're definitely looking forward to hear your presentations in 2 weeks, a little bit more in 2 weeks. Okay, very good. So maybe to end up and then open the floor to the question of our audience, what would you say, what kind of advice you can give to the students, to the someone who wants to apply to this program?
I would say, first off, be open-minded.
Mm.
Because the opportunity, like let's say the master itself is a master. There are courses, there are classes, there are projects. So it's pretty, if you're going to do a master, you're pretty much getting what you're expecting to get, right? Courses and exams and everything. But when it comes to opportunities, because it's what a lot of people look forward, I would say, yeah, you have to be open-minded because I have a very small experience in digital and social media, and yet I'm now full blown into it. So if I had not been open-minded, I would have passed out on this opportunity because I would have gone to the interview and just be like, yeah, I don't know. So I wasn't like that. Most of the experience, even for the basket, for the rugby, it's like I did different things for each event that I applied to and participated into. And you have to be open-minded in order to like discover a lot of things and also to get the opportunity because sometimes it's not going to be interesting because the position is just, you're a greeter. Like yes, it's not the most thrilling thing, but you get to be part of a bigger environment. Like for example, Sportel, um, I had to just be there during conferences, but then yes, that wasn't thrilling, but then I got to see how Sportel and everything works. So you basically have to also look beyond your nose and be like, okay, this might not be fun, but this is what I get to see, that's get to witness. On an anecdote, I got to spend the day with Jackie Eakes because I had a very small part and they didn't have much for me to do. And so the man in charge of all the VIPs interview for Sportel, he was like, "Hey, come with me." So I got to meet and then spend the day with him, which, yeah, it wasn't in the listing of the job, but then at the end of the day, I got to see so much, right? I got to go in the behind the scene of TV Monaco. I mean, not everyone does that. But yeah, no, so it's just, you have to be open-minded. I think it's key.
Good. Perfect. Yeah, that's open-minded and curious as well. This is
Mhm,
something that definitely makes you apart, puts you apart.
mhm.
Matthew, something like last most important advice.
Yeah, no, I would just say just don't apply just to apply because most students they would just be like, oh, I'm going to apply because it's a master's and blah blah. Just if you get taken for the interview, just show your interest in sport. Just show how good your past experiences were, whether it's in sports or not. Like for example, I was talking about my internship that I had back in the UK. I also said how my university they asked me questions about my experience working in Formula One, and I said this in my interview. Also about the fact that me and some of my friends again, back in Brighton, we were interviewed by this lady, and we then ended up in the local newspapers in Brighton. So just talk about experiences, show your passion in sport, and then just hope for the best. Just be really confident in yourself, and like Lucille said, be open-minded. So yeah, just be passionate, and yeah, that's and be happy as well, and smile a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Because if you just
That's
really
that's true.
yeah, because if you just really grumpy and say like, oh yeah, my experiences, I worked in this, I did that, and I'm interested to work in Monaco, and don't apply just because it's Monaco. Apply because of the
Mm.
opportunities you can have, like me and Lucilla spoke about, and yeah, you'll be able to have a great time in IUM.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so
Very,
much for the insights.
No
very
problem.
insightful. Okay, do we have any questions from audience, from
Uh,
our listener?
yes. So Jenna is asking. It's a little bit similar question, but anyway, it's interesting to have more of your perspective. So she's asking, what do you think was the most important thing you did to get these opportunities outside of the classroom? What should an incoming student do to set themselves apart and be successful?
Mhm. I'd say personally, so outside the classroom, I suppose she means outside of when you Camille came up without opportunities. I mean, for me, when I worked for Formula One, I applied aside. So within the ACM, so I applied. They obviously took me in an interview. I think also the fact that I had a lot of languages helped. So yeah, I'd say so the most important thing, just talk about your opportunities and how passionate you are about wanting to have the position, really.
Maybe I can add,
Yeah, sure.
and then Lucille, feel free to add also. I would say that potentially no matter if you're applying for the position within the university or outside of the university, what the people, what the company are looking forward, it's to have someone reliable, someone that we can definitely trust and give more opportunities. So you need to be able to adapt yourself as well, because depending on the environment, you should be ready to take the lead or to be followers. So this is something that you need to like kind of align to the company's environment. You need to show your passion. That's definitely the key of any success in the career. You need to show that you care about what you're doing. Yeah, Lucille, what you can add?
Yeah, I would say like it comes back to being open-minded. But for example, I mean, I'm not sure if I got it because of the ACM or if I get it and it's going to be beneficial for me after. But I got to also participate in the Grand Prix de France Historique, which I think it showed that I was like, so doing those events, they kind of help also emphasize on the fact that I'm not just waiting for opportunities to come, I go forward to go get them. And there's different ways you can do that, whether it's in tennis. Here I'm interested in motorsport, so I go for motorsport. But in Monaco and in the region, like you shouldn't be afraid to also like go around Monaco. You have so many opportunities that you can look forward. I know that after the rugby, which was organized by the Fondation Princesse Charlène, they asked me to come back and help them for something else. So those also on your resume and for future position or for like other whatever you're thinking of doing, this shows that, like Camille was saying, that you're reliable and that you're capable. Because if they did not want you, like if you were not doing a good job, they would not have you come back. So if you do a good job, I'm not saying you're guaranteed because you're never guaranteed, but you're ensuring yourself a comfortable lead, let's say, than someone who's not trying. As Matthew was saying, if you're not trying and you're not smiling and you're not putting your best effort and you're not showing that you want to, then you're not going to get it. But then after, outside of classes, I would say that it's important to I mean, it depends before or after you've entered the master, but I guess also right now while you're doing your studies or whatnot, find places where you can volunteer. That's always interesting. I mean, I did the only social media and digital I did was during my bachelor in the student association, the statistics student association, which was like not like it's statistics, it's not that but I was doing the social media and event, and then after I was the president. And those are experiences that, although they're not going to help me become the CEO of Mercedes or whatever, but those experience, thank you. We can do it. But those experiences have helped me start my way onto becoming Mercedes CEO, right? Like, so it's important to also, you might not think it's important, it matters, but at the end of the day, even being part of the sewing club and like in the finance side of the sewing club, well, that it might just be like your gateway into something else, right? So I would say that's also something you want to look at.
I
Guys, you
also
heard. We have the future CEO of Mercedes in front of me. Do you remember this name?
Yeah, yeah. Toto Wolf, watch out.
Connect
I'm
with you on LinkedIn right now before it's not too late.
exactly.
Yes, Matthew,
Yeah,
sorry.
no, I just wanted to add, so like Lucille said, just like not only apply within Monaco and Nice, but not only apply in the sport you want to work in. So like one of the many mistakes I did, obviously I've applied to only football clubs. So
Mm,
five in London because well I have my favorite one obviously in London, but I didn't do only this one. I did the five in London because I know within my well I have a place there which one of my family members live there. So I was like, oh, trying to see what's closest to to stay here. So that's one big mistake. Did the same thing within clubs in Belgium, two in Brussels, same thing, closestness to the house. And then here I did Monaco and Nice. Obviously Nice is a bit further than Monaco, but still closestness to where I currently live now. And obviously it's only 40 minutes by train. So don't only do that mistake. Just apply to any sport you can find, whether it's in Europe, in the US, or wherever in the world really. So yeah, just expand your searches.
mm,
If you're like me, I'm more of a fan of football than Formula One, but I still try and manage to play in Formula One. But then there's also tennis. Some people, I know some of my friends have been taken for ATP. Some people have been taken for the LTA or the WTA, even everything's, and they're not really, big fans of the sport. I know some friends that are not really interested in um, what is it? Yeah, motorsports. They still managed to get the internship via UCAMI into the motorsport, so like WRC or everything. So just expand your insights, expand in like because the sport industry is big, really. Because people when they think of sports is
yeah.
the main biggest sport, basketball, football. I don't know what's the third sport. I don't want to make any big debates on it, so I'm just going to stick to basketball and football because I know basketball's really big in the US and everything. So just don't stick to them. Just expand
Mm,
yourself and expand your insights. So yeah, that's one of the big mistakes I made. But also when so when I finished working for the historical GP, so I had the chance for my dad. For 12 years, he worked in a restaurant in Monaco. And as I worked for the historical GP, I met this man who I saw on his LinkedIn profile worked around the same time as my dad did in the same restaurant. So I called my dad and he was like, "Oh yeah, I know him. Make sure to send him a email about the internship opportunity." He answered me. Unfortunately, he said that they don't have anything to offer, but
mm,
he did say that he's going to keep my CV in case there's anything interesting that opens either within Ace Monaco or around his contacts. So I, I'm not gonna. I don't really want to sound rude when I say this, but if you're lucky to have any contacts in Monaco, like for example, your parents or friends that know people that work in sports industries, just don't hesitate to contact them and say, "Oh, can I have this person's contact? I would like to
mm.
manage to try and get an internship out of it." So yeah, so expand your research. Don't stay in the same sport. That's what I have to say.
In any case, what is important and what we are saying from the beginning, as soon as the student join the uni, that you can be passionate about one sport, but your career shouldn't be like mandatory linked to the sport. So you can start in football, then move to basketball, then coming back to football, and then motorsport. And I mean, that's open-mindedness that comes from here also, that you need to be open-minded. I think that the sport industry can your career path in the sport industry, not the linear thing. It can be like very from one to another and then moving back and forth. But this is what makes also valuable this kind of experiences. Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Alexandra, do we have any questions, other questions? Because like we started talking about a lot of things. So I
Yes,
think
yes,
we
we chat.
replied more than
Yes, just to remind, because I saw some participants joined, so we are ending our webinar, and if you have any questions you were shy to ask, this is your moment. And maybe if I can ask question from myself, meanwhile, what kind of internships you are looking forward to, if you have a vision for the sport industry, where next step you want to take? Lucille, Matthew.
I'm open because, as I said, open-mindedness is key. But ideally, if I could choose, let's say I have a pool and I can choose whatever I want, I'd like to find something that's within a motorsport team that'd be great within the management of the team. So that's what I'm into. You have the team principal, you have all his little minions. I'd want to work around this area. But then I've also looked into ice hockey because I'm French and I'm Canadian, so I have that dual culture, which means that hockey is number one to me and football is nothing. But no, no. But yeah, no. So I applied into hockey internship back in where I grew up. I'm looking into mainly management. I'd like to get into the management of teams. So, but again, I'm open-minded. I'm willing to try anything as long as I can see that not only can I contribute, but it can give me knowledge and experience that's gonna be worth everything else. So yeah, I'm still looking, hopefully. Oh, who knows?
Okay, best of luck, of course.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, I got the triple culture, so I got French, Polish, and English, but they're all really good in football. I don't really know it. I mean, I know France is quite good in basketball as well. But yeah, for me, like I mentioned, don't stay in one sport. But ideally, I would like to be a football agent. Back in the day when I was in Brighton, I really wanted to be a scout. And I tried to find an internship in Brighton, but one of my teacher told me, "Oh, they have fired half of their scouting staff because they're now going to use AI." So I thought,
right.
well, I don't really want my dream job to be replaced by AI. I mean, for me, football agent can't really be replaced by AI because it's really a lot of administrative stuff to do. You have to like sort out the players' contracts, the sponsors within the players, really his also the financial everything that's financial sides and everything. So AI really can't really do this. So yeah, for me, I'd say football agents or even sports agent because I can represent football players, I can represent one or more Formula One drivers. Same thing for basketball. I mean, you could represent a lot of athletes really if you're an athlete agent. But then like same thing as Lucille, I'm open to everything, especially for internships. So I mean the fact that we're trying to find an internship is also to learn to have the insight of not only the sports but the industry. So I'm really happy with whatever really. Like I said once again, really more into football and Formula One. But then if anything opens to me, I'm happy to take it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing. So Camille, I believe maybe we can be finishing the webinar. What do you say?
Yeah. I would say yes. Thank you very much, Matthew and Lucille. Definitely a very stressful period for you. So thank you for having being with us and like having a little bit consecrate a little bit of time for us. We definitely will publish this webinar, I think, because it was very insightful. So thanks again. And yeah, I think
Thank
that's
you.
all from our side.
Thank you very much for the invite.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Have a good
Bye.
Thank
evening,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Bye bye.